It's early of a Saturday evening, August 20th, 2011. Looking down the Soo Line, southeastward at Drinkwater, Saskatchewan. On a bed of Glacial Lake Regina, nice and flat. Sands and silts, rich clays, little gumbo, great farming country. Highway 39 in the foreground, heading up towards Moose Jaw, maybe 25k to the left. On the horizon there is the Kalium plant up by Belle Plaine on the CPR main line on the Trans-Canada Highway. Maybe 15 miles away there. Looking along the right-of-way of the Minneapolis, St. Paul and Sault Ste. Marie Railway. Moose Jaw is 18 rail miles away. To the southeast, southwest rather, on the south. There's the line of the Missouri Coteau, stepping up onto the high plains, the third prairie step. That's likely the Clay Hills down there. And around to look back down the rail line. This was built by the CPR in 1893 through here. But there was no town site surveyed at that time. Here's Highway 39, heading southeast towards Weyburn, 72 miles away. Estevan, 125 north of Fordham. There's the Presbyterian Church at the west end of Wenzel Street, completed in 1904. As I said, the town site wasn't laid out until 1902. Post office was re-established from a rural site on June 20th of that year, named after Charles Drinkwater, a CPR corporate minion. Oh, he's actually the corporate secretary. The post office had opened in a store, of course, and by 1904, when the church was completed, the Grandview Hotel had opened, school was built, the first of several elevators was up and running. Lumber yards, blacksmiths, likely a pool room and a barber shop. Oh, it's quite the filial on the top of that steeple there. And there's another filial on the east end of town. A round barn? Maybe for sheep, maybe not. And looking down Main Street, lots of vacant lots. This was a real bustling place at one time before the 30s. The station would have stood right down there at the head of Main at mile 12.3 of the Portal subdivision. It was a standard number 5 station built in 1906 and sold off in 1969 and removed. And there's what remains of Drinkwater's postal service. Oh, that nice concrete sidewalks. In its heyday, there was a McLaughlin dealership here, McLaughlin Buick, a Ford dealership, lots of implement dealers. The Methodist Church was finished, opened in 1911, and the Bank of Commerce in this building, a prefab jobby which was erected in 1907. They nailed down the business district. We're not there now, looking north. There's the village offices. Drinkwater was incorporated as a village on June 7th, 1904, and remains a village, even though the population is down to 65, but it's holding steady in 2011. Peak population was 238 in 1921. Looking west up Wenzel. didn't find the Methodist church, but found this fancy brick detailed house with its ornate wall. A little ball on the fence post there. Nice brickwork. Still occupied. The back of the bank building. Bank of Commerce abandoned Drinkwater in 1935, and the business community never really recovered. The Masons eventually bought the building and used it for a while, but sold it in 1988. After years of seeing the upper grades go one by one to school in Briarcrest, the Drinkwater School was closed in 1968 and torn down in 1987, would have stood right in here. There was a couple of pool elevators at trackside. The pool wasn't here in 1924, but they show up in the 1933 map. The two elevators were torn down in 1987. Not sure what other companies would have been here. Ironically, it wasn't until the spring of 1990 that Drinkwater got potable, reliable water via pipeline from Buffalo Pound, Drinkwater, Saskatchewan.